Hey everyone, welcome back to our playthrough of Firefly, the board game. The solo scenario, Awful Lonely in the Verse. Okay, when we finished up last time, it's been a little while, but we were down here in Anson's world. We were just finishing up a mission for Niska, I believe it was. And we had forgotten one thing down here. I think I mentioned it right at the end of the video. Niska's adventure was illegal, so we had that. That's when we got the crime bonus that we got here from Mao because it was an illegal. It was a crime, but it's also immoral. And we've forgotten that when you do an immoral job, you have to put one of these disgruntled tokens on every single one of your moral characters, which would be Inara, Mao himself, Zoe, and Kaylee. All of them get the disgruntled faces. And there's a way to take those off, which we are going to do as soon as we head on up here, because I think what we're going to do next is we are going to go from Anson's world and we are going to travel up here to the Space Bazaar, because we still have to get solid with patience and we still have to get solid with Amnandol. And patience, the job that we drew for patience, begins right here at the Space Bazaar, and that is where you get missions for Amnandul. So, that is where we are going to go next. The only hitch going on here is that we've got the Reaver ship right there. We don't have to worry about the Alliance ship. It's not going to leave the Alliance space, but the Reaver ship is just 2 moves away from the Space Bazaar. So we're going to have to see how this works. All right, so our closest way of getting there is going to be 3. Yeah, the closest way, whether we go around the north part of Red Sun or the southern part of Red Sun, we go 1, 2, and 3. I think we're going to head... I don't guess it truly makes much of a difference as far as moving the Reaver either. But I think... yeah, it's not going to make any difference. If we move him at all, he's going to move down on Amnandol. So let's just go ahead and move. Okay, so we finished up everything over here on Anson's world. We arrived. We can't buy anything. We worked a job. We can't do any deals. So now it's time to fly. So since we're doing that, we're going to take away another disgruntled token. That will take us down to 10 turns over here now. We still got 2 stacks of 5, so we are officially halfway through the game. And in addition, we are going to burn a fuel and do a full burn now. Okay, so let us move first. We're going to move to St. Albans, and we will pull a border space card. And what does it say? Rutten drive cores blown. All right, see what's Aliner, or tell me we got a spare. All right, I'm going to set that down right there. Give me just half a second here. All right, I do apologize for that. I had realized while I was trying to read the card that I had not turned my recording lights on. So everything was a little bit dark in here, and I was having a little bit of trouble reading what the card was. So we got see what's Aliner, and for that we got to roll a tech skill of 8 or higher in order to keep flying. If we don't, we come to a full stop. No other side effects, but we do come to a full stop and end this turn. The others tell me that we got a spare, at which point we can burn the 2 spare parts that we still have, and we keep flying. I think we've got Kaylee over here, who's got a 3. Yeah, Kaylee's got a tech skill of 3, and Bree has a tech skill of 2, so we've got a 7. I mean, 5. We got a 5, so we'd have to roll a 3 or higher. I think we're going to push our luck. We're going to try option number 1. We got a 2/3 chance, and Kaylee gets a reroll. So let's see what Kaylee gets here. And Kaylee comes out with some thrilling heroics again. Awesome. She has got a 9. So we scored a 14 with their 5. So we scored a 14. We needed an 8 or higher to keep flying. Thrilling heroics have taken place again. She has managed to build some spare parts out of some bubble gum, some baling wire, a couple of surgical pads out of Simon's Med Kit, and the barrel out of Jane's gun Vera. And she's managed to make a repair piece, a spare piece out of it in order to keep us flying until we can get a little bit further along. Fantastic. I don't know if any of y'all think of it as kind of like, I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen the movie Apollo 13, but there's the scene in Apollo 13 where they lose their CO2 filters because of the explosion. They have no method of getting CO2 out of the air anymore. They can still got filters that work either. I think they still got the filters that work from the suit or something like that, backup filters, but they're non-standard. They're a different size and they don't fit in the device that they're using. So there's a great scene in the movie where the head of NASA comes in, the head of the program comes in with like a box with 4 or 5 spare parts in it, some tubes, and a pack of filters, and says, "Guys, you've got an hour in order to figure out how to make this work. Get to it." That's what she just pulled out. Okay, good for you. So we get to keep flying in that respect. Now we are going to fly on to Greenleaf. That'll be move 2 of our full burn. And we have got the big black. Keep flying. All right, fantastic. We are 1 away from the Space Bazaar. We are going to move into orbit around that. Let's pull our last border space card. What's that noise? So we got that doesn't sound good, where we have to roll to do a breakdown, or the Goram parts ain't free, where we got to spend a part and keep flying. Well, we're where we want to be, so we don't need to spend a part. So it really doesn't matter if we come to a full stop here. We need a 6 or higher in order to keep flying. And as we've said before, they've already got a 5. So all we have to do is get a 1 on the dice. So we really don't even need to roll this, but nope, got a 4. So she easily tasked it. Didn't have to create any spare parts out of apples and Jane's old bong, but managed to get there anyway. So that is the end of that turn. Now we are here at Amandol. I'm going to get these off the map now since we are there. That way it's not going to confuse us with what we've got going on here. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to burn a turn, and I need to look it up right quick. We're going to get rid of our disgruntlement. And I'm going to look it up right quick, and I will be right back with you as soon as I see exactly what we have to spend and do. Okay, we got that straightened out. The first thing we're going to do while we're here at the Space Bazaar is we are going to get our crew undisgruntled. We're going to regruntle them. And the way you do that is anytime you land at a supply planet, that's any of the ones, Space Bazaar, Osiris, Regina, any of the planets where you can buy, any planets that have a deck over here that you can look through and buy stuff as a supply planet. So anytime you're doing that, you send your crew on shore leave. You let them go out shopping, catch a show, have a good time, sleep somewhere that's not on board the ship. If you're Jane, visit the local whorehouse, whatever you want to do. So that takes the place of your buying phase. So we're not going shopping this turn. So we're not even going to bother looking through the deck over there, the Space Bazaar deck. Can't look through the deck, can't go through the discard. I mean, we can look through it, but there's no point because we're not going to buy anything from here. So instead of doing that, you give up your buy phase and you pay 100 for every single member of your crew. Doesn't matter whether they're disgruntled or not. You're sending the whole crew on shore leave. And as you see, we have 6 crew. So we spend $600. So that's gone. And in return, they get to remove all the disgruntled tokens. So they are back to feeling happy with their captain. They love their captain again. And they love the Firefly again. and they're not in danger of jumping ship or being hired off by another player. Because in the multiplayer game, that's one of the dangers. In the solo game here, you have the danger that they can jump ship anytime, and in the other game as well, when you're playing with more than one player. If you get two disgruntled tokens on one character over here, for instance, Zoe, if Zoe ended up with two disgruntled tokens on her, she would just jump ship. And she would be going, she would leave the crew immediately as soon as you got the second thing, and she would be put back over into Silverhold, put back wherever they came from. And if your leader, for instance, this case Malcolm, if your leader gets two disgruntled token, he just gets fed up with the whole thing and he fires everybody in the crew. You get rid of your entire crew if the leader gets two disgruntled tokens. So you have to be careful about that. So everybody's on shore leave. We're not going to be able to buy anything this turn. We will be able to wheel and deal, though. So we are going to look at Amandol and see what he has. Now, he has already got one mission right here. Load 2 cargo at Red Sun at Harvest. And Harvest is right down here, 2 spaces away. Load 2 cargo there and deliver 2 cargo at Bellerophon over there in order to get paid. And it needs 2 negotiation skill. And if you got a companion, you got an extra 500. So we could do this. Let's see what else he has. That is definitely one to consider. Let's take 2 more off the top. And we've got some discretion is required and gun running special offer. Both of those are legal. Why do I keep seeming to get their only legal jobs? Some discretion is required. You go to Sinon, White Sun. You have to misbehave, get a contraband, and deliver it to Boros, Georgia. Okay. And it requires negotiation as well. And then we got gun running special order. We go to Londinium, misbehave and load 2 contraband, and then go to Ezra, up there where Niska is, and deliver the 2 contraband. Those are nice paying jobs. Of course, the Alliance Fat Cats is nothing to sneeze at either, and it pays enough to actually pay off our crew. We're right here. It's just a short hop backwards. So I'm thinking we're going to do that. I think we will do that one. Defeating the Alliance Fat Cats. Yeah, and that gives us a 500 bonus. The other 2 would give us a 500 bonus for being a crime, because we get the bonus for Mal. Of course, one of them too, the gun running special order, also gives us a $500 bonus for having a soldier, which Malcolm is and Zoe is. Both of those, so that would actually give us... but then we wouldn't get the companion bonus. So, yeah, we'll stick with that one. We don't have to misbehave that way. Don't have to worry about the misbehaving and all. We all saw how that works. So we're just going to try and finish this up as quick as possible there. So we know that we're going to need 2 cargo. We're going to have to fly to Harvest and load up 2 cargo. And we've already got 1. So we're going to load up 2 cargo. We got 2 empty spaces. And that is important because also starting here at the Space Bazaar is Ranch Hand Recruitment, which is the one for patients, which we haven't finished yet. And that's illegal. It needs 1 negotiation. Load passengers, no limit. And when we get to Ithaca, we get paid $300 per passenger. So that gives us 2 passenger. Oh, actually, it gives us, we could put passengers in the stash. We could load 6 passengers up here. Indeed, I think we're going to do that. We're going to use this one. We're going to make it active. So we are now going to have, I'm going to set that one right there to show that it's active for us. So we're going to need to load up passengers. We need to leave enough space, though, to leave space for 2 cargo. So we could load 6 passengers. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to load up 6 passengers to take the ride. And I'm going to get them out of the stack over here and get them loaded into the ship. And we will be back in just a moment. And coming down to our ship, you see we have loaded up the 6 passengers. I moved all the fuel and parts and cargo into the stash because I figured it wasn't a good idea to stuff, paying passengers into our secret places where, number one, they'd be all cramped, and number two, they might rat us out to the Alliance about it. So we've still got 2 empty spaces for running down to Harvest and collecting the cargo. And that will also show you why, in the very first episode, the very first pilot, they talk about, why are we taking on passengers? Because passengers pay dick all. Well, they only pay $300 per passenger, you see. It's a low-paying legal job. But, as he says, it ends an air of respectability to the ship. Makes it look legit. Okay. So, we have dealt now. Instead of buying, we send everybody on shore leave. We're working a job. So we have started working which one did we work? We started working ranch hand. We haven't started working feeding the Alliance fat cats yet. That's going to take place down here on Harvest. But we worked a job, so now next up is flying. So we burn another token. We're down to 9 turns now. And we are going to head off over here to Harvest. That is 2 away. We're going to burn a fuel. Going to head and burn a fuel and do a full burn, simply because at the moment, moving faster is, in our limited amount of turns, moving faster is more important to us than conserving fuel. So we are going to move 1. And we got a border space card, keep flying. And we move 2 to Harvest. And we get keep flying. So 2 keep flying cards. We've made it to Harvest. We are now going to work this job. And here at this job, we need to load 2 cargo and deliver it to Bellerophon. So that's what we're going to do. We have the needs. We have the negotiation skill on board. So let us put 2 cargo in our ship. And we are running with a full cargo thing now, except for being 1 short on our fuel. All right, fantastic. So at this point, we need to sit here at Harvest and figure out exactly how we are going to get up there to Bellerophon. Right up there where you see that Harking card, where he's got that job. Let's see. We can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that the shortest route? I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our shortest route is 6. Wow, so we can go 1 and a mosey would get us there if we don't get delayed by anything. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to burn 1 more of our precious fuel down here. And let's see. I think we're going to head back. We're going to head back by the Space Bazaar. That is 2 to the Space Bazaar. And then we'll decide whether we keep moving or whether we stop there and refuel. So we go 1 to Red Sun. And let's see what card we draw. Keep flying. We go 1 more to the Space Bazaar. Don't let it be Reavers on the Hunt. Keep flying. Okay, so now do we stop at the bazaar and go shopping and redo our fuel, or do we keep pushing our luck until we get to Bellerophon? Oh, decisions. Let's see, that's 2. We could actually go 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, and we can get to Persephone. We got to take 2 turns to get there anyway. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to push my luck and try to make it to Persephone. All right, so let's go one more. 3. This time we take an alliance card, so at least the Reavers can't get us. Keep flying. 4. Keep flying. And 5. No matter what's happened, we've made it to Persephone, so we can refuel and go shopping. Keep flying. All right, that was a very lucky, very little bit of interference and a whole lot of luck transit there. Okay, so we have made it to Persephone. I'm not going to deal with Badger, I don't think. I don't know. Badger's got 2 cards. He's got Takes My Breath Away, Poking Holes, and Niska's Plans. Let's go ahead and consider 3 of his jobs just to see what else he has, because maybe there's something really easy and really profitable that we could do. He's got another legal one there. He's got Bilking the Yokels, which takes place at Albion. Load 2 cargo and deliver 2 cargo wheel and deal. He's got Send Them to the Rotten Mines, which we misbehave and it's immoral. We don't want to really do that. And Slave Wrangling, we don't really want to do that either. So no, we're not going to run any more of Badger's missions right now, but it was nice to take a look at what he has. Meantime, let's go over here to Persephone. What do we have in the discard deck? We have Kaylee's fluffy pink dress that we saw earlier. We have the Crybaby. We're going to hang on to the Crybaby since we're going to do some flying through Alliance space. So we'll keep it up here to consider. And we'll draw 2 more cards. We got a Gun Hand, which is just your basic mercenary. Ooh, and we've got River Tam. Well, we're definitely going to buy the upgrade. We're definitely going to buy the Crybaby. What this does is when you're in a sector with an Alliance cruiser, you discard this and you ignore the Alliance cruiser's effect and you move the cruiser 1 sector, in this case away from us. 1 sector, any place that you want to go. So we're definitely going to pay the 400 and buy the Crybaby. Ooh, River. Problem is River doesn't really have a place on my ship. She doesn't cost anything to take her on. And before every test, you put her in a crew, and you can take her on a mission, and before any test, you roll the dice. I guess it's test on the ship as well. If you get a 1 or 2, she returns to the ship and, is in her crazy time, and she doesn't count for anything. If you get a 3, she counts for 2 guns. If you get a 4, she's 2 tech. If you get a 5, she's 2 negotiation. And if you get a 6, she's any 3 of any skill that you want her to be. So that shows her talented nature and her very confused and unreliable nature. The secret is if you also get Simon, I think adds 3 to the roll. He either adds 2 or he adds a 3 to that roll. So the 2 of them together, River and Simon together, are a really nice combination. We have both of those up here. I would definitely take them because she would be awesome. I would replace the medic with Simon and probably replace the Bree with River because she would be an awesome addition to the crew in that case. But we are not going to take them right now. We're going to take the Crybaby instead. 2 of them will go back into the discard deck here at Persephone, right there with Kaylee's fluffy dress. And we will pay the 400, take the Crybaby. Crybaby gets slotted into slot 1 right here. So it is ready for whenever we need to do let me get my equipment here. It is ready for whenever we have to avoid an Alliance entanglement. All right, and now let me clean these off the board here. Okay, while we're there, we have been dealing. I'm sorry, we went dealing. We saw what kind of deals. We ended up not doing any. We bought, as part of the buying, you can also buy fuel. So we will spend another 200 and buy 2 units of fuel. So I will put those into the ship as well. We've got those tucked away here. So we are back up to what is currently a full fuel stash. And that's it. Next up is flying. So at this point, we still gonna have to burn a fuel because Bellerophon is it's the shortest we can get there is in 2, and I really do not want to spend 2 turns moseying over there. Not when we've got 9 turns left. You never know what's going to happen during those 9 turns. We could probably do it. And we'd have 7 turns left to get our deliveries done, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead. We're going to burn a fuel. We got the fuel. The fuel is of less importance to me than the time is. Here is it. Let me do this first, make sure I don't forget. 500 and 600. That pays for the crybaby and for the 2 units of fuel we bought. Okay. So now we need to go to Bellerophon. So I'm going to burn a unit of fuel, one of the fuel we just bought. We will do a full burn, and we will go 1 into Alliance space. Keep flying. And we will go 2 to Bellerophon. And it gives us a keep flying. Wow, we have been so lucky with all the cards here. And let us don't forget, whoops. We'll ignore that for now. Take away another disgruntled token. All right, so we're at Bellerophon. We are going to work this mission now, defeating the Alliance Fat Cats. We're going to take the 2 cargo. We're going to deliver the 2 cargo. We still need the companion bonus, which we have. So let us take the 2 cargo out of our hold there. We're going to get paid 1,300 and another 500 for the companion bonus. So we will make 1,800 on this trip, but we have to remember that we have 1,200 in crew fees. So out of that 1,800, we're going to subtract 1,200, and we get paid 600 for this mission. So there we go. We made 600 bucks. We've kept our crew happy. And most importantly, we've added another solid to our list. We're now solid with Harkin, Badger, Niska, and Amandol. And the solid with Amandub, when you're solid with Amandol, you can load passengers and fugitives at the Space Bazaar. No limit. You can load up as many passengers and fugitives at the bazaar as you want to, without any limit and without any mission. You know, it's depend on where you want to take them and what you want to do with them, I suppose. All right, so there you go. Next time, we are going to see if we can get solid. Well, actually, why don't we go ahead and see if we can do it now? We got to go to Ithaca, Georgia, deliver those passengers. We are here at Bellerophon. Where's Ithaca at? Ithaca is just north of Ezra there, so we can get there in, what's the shortest route? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we can get there in 4. So we're going to do that now. Let me move this out of the way so it's not confusing. We will do a full burn, burn another unit of fuel, and we are going to go 1 to Ariel. Alliance space is Alliance Cruiser. Oh dear, that's the one we've been dreading, to reshuffle the deck. There's one of these in each one. One of these is kind of like the Epidemic card in Pandemic. You have one of these in each one of the decks. There's one in the Alliance, there's one in the border space, and if you got the expansions, there's one of these in rim space. So we're going to take a look at that here.